I think first and foremost it's just about us and controlling what we can control. Like last year and the year before, we know that when we go out there and execute our game plan and stick to our keys and stick to our core principles, that we'll be all right.
What are your favorite memories of the last two wins over Oklahoma?
Oh, I mean, there's so many. Just the feeling after the game, it's incredible. Just all the hard work and preparation, and just the fact that we're looked at as the underdogs, and we're not supposed to win, and just the feeling of accomplishment. So it's definitely something that we're trying to replicate.
It's pretty rare for a team to beat Oklahoma once, let alone twice like you guys. What do you think you've been able to pull it off?
Again, I think it's just because we've been able to stick to our own, fundamentals and philosophies, and just stick to our game plan. Really, when we play the way that we want to play, and we execute to our standard, we feel pretty confident that we can play with a lot of teams in the country.
Do you feel like their offense this year looks pretty similar to what you've seen in the last few years?
No doubt, OU is always explosive. They always have dynamic playmakers that they're trying to get the ball to. They have a lot of wrinkles in their offense that you don't always see. So there are a lot of intricacies that are hard to plan for, but there are some things that are similar that carry over for sure.
You feel pretty confident that you guys more resemble the defense we saw in the second half on Saturday than the first half?
Yeah, and we have to. We have to clean up the first half, and when we come together and we stick to our game plan and play through our philosophies and principles, we can put together a half like we did the second half at Oklahoma State. So when we put that forward, we can really compete with a lot of the teams in the Big 12. So.
Do you expect them to have a little bit more fire under them this year after you guys have gotten in the last 2 years?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's definitely a part of it. I know that their coaching staff doesn't want to lose to Kansas State again, but every team is excited to play every week, so they're going to bring it, and so are we.
Ryan, what's the first stage of that cleanup that you mentioned on your defense?
Just seeing where we went wrong. First we went back and looked at the film and went back to the drawing board, and some were adjustments and some were things that we knew, and we just went out there and made errors. So just correcting the small things and just going back to our fundamentals, our basic X's and O's, that's really going to help us clean up the football that we need to do.
And Coach Clement mentioned you guys not getting off blocks. Was it as much a matter of that as finding your way around blocks and finding your way into the right space on Saturday?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I know that I struggled in some times to get off blocks, and a lot of that comes from not playing fast. And if I stick to my keys and I'm going through my progression and the right reads, I'm able to play fast. I'm able to get off blocks. I can play a lot more free. So when you're kind of second-guessing yourself out there, it puts you in some vulnerable situations, and it's tougher to get off blocks for sure.
Growing up, you probably have been here when K-State has played some memorable games against some powerhouse teams. Just how lit does this place get when there's a big opponent?
Oh, I mean, hopefully the stadium's off the hook. I'm sure it will be. It always is. I remember growing up watching, Colin Klein era play Oklahoma here, and there's been incredible games with all the quarterbacks, dating back to Jesse Ertz, Alex Delton, Skyler, some of the guys that I came in here with early in my career. So I expect it to be a great atmosphere on Saturday.